Hey, by the way, Kansas City and Cincinnati, again. Man. Hey, Jeff Schwartz, you listening to me? I told you about Joey Burrow, baby. And I also told you that and I'm not excited about this because my brother's on the Chiefs. I want him to have home field. They might not have home field. But this was an opportunity for Kansas City to kind of like not only secure that road going through Arrowhead, which is a motherfucker, but also to make a statement if they see these guys again that it's going to be a beast to play us. And they were up 14-0.
28-14 and a half.
28-17 and a half because they got that field goal before the half, which was the biggest little sequence of the entire game because not only did they get the field goal, because had they not got that field goal, this was a game for a while that was like, hey, if you don't score and if it's not a touchdown, at the very least, you're fucked. And they were lucky because going into the half, they knew they were going to get the ball back. So they had an opportunity for a 2-for-1, but they damn near left Kansas City too much time. So number one, they hit the kick to at least make this ball game from a cover standpoint a little bit more interesting. And then they actually get away with a Pringle return. You get a hold that calls that back. And then on top of it, they hit a deep ball to Tyreek that Bell punches out at the last second or it's a drop. If they hit those shots, if they hit that return, that game is over. You know, that I know it's just a 4-point difference if they get in the end zone, but I felt like that was big to get points going into the half and not give them up and then come out of the half slinging.
Yeah, to me, I can't understand on that 3rd and 27, Chiefs go zero blitz. I can't. I mean, you know where Burrow is going, and I just can't believe it.
Well, it's incredible because I think this sums up why people love Joe Burrow so much and are excited by watching the Bengals. 2nd and 27. Fuck it. We're taking a shot. We're not trying to get a little bit back. We're going for the whole thing. 3rd and 27. Let's lay up for the field goal. Nope. I'm going to go for the jugular. I'm going to go outside the numbers where I threw for 1,000,000 yards. They threw for over 300 yards outside the numbers. Fuck it. Joe Burrow does not care, bro. He does not care, dude. He does not care. That was an incredible show by them because what they showed was not only can Burrow hang, but their skill guys are better. Top to bottom. I mean, like top to bottom. I think that when you add Joe Mixon in the mix, and you get those 3 wide receivers, it's pretty fucking scary. And as you mentioned, Uzama's not bad. So I know that you've got the 2-headed monster in Kelsey and in Tyreek, and they have top-end strength there. But Cincy, and they might see Kansas City again, is kind of like Golden State a little bit. I don't mean to like a lot of guys.
At the beginning.
A lot of guys can get buckets on that team. You know what I mean? Like it does not matter who. You know, like Jamar Chase is your best receiver. The ball he caught early, to be able to do that, make 54 miss and score from 70 is like, people don't do that in the NFL. What makes him so good is he's the same guy that catches a screen for -5 yards. He's faced up with a tackler and he turns it into 5 yards. He's a dirty work guy and he's a guy who can take the top off defense. And I think that's what makes him great. And I think what makes Cincinnati so impressive is everybody said, hey, Penei Sewell, this tackle, that tackle, you're going to get Joe killed. And by the way, he was sacked like twice, 2 straight possessions early in the game. And you're like, oh, no, that is going to come to fruition. That thing that we all said in preseason, the biggest game of the season, they can't protect him. But really what it turned into was like, we don't need to protect him. We're just going to get the ball outside the numbers, and my guy's going to go up and get it. So I think this was a big win for them, not just in the win column, but also something that kind of validates their mantra, which is just we'll score with you.
Yeah, I mean they you don't see it a lot where teams say they're going to do something and they do it. And Burrow is that right in your face, and he's not afraid. And that's that's the first thing I think about when I watch him play or I hear him talk. You're getting what you're getting. And he's been phenomenal. And the guts, the whatever, testicle fortitude, people call it.
I thought you
whatever
said
you want to call
it. Yeah, the balls. The best thing about that 3rd and 27 and that last drive was, and yeah, we'll talk about the calls in a second, but 3:19 to go. The last 3:14 was chaos, but they never gave it back, okay? You get 3rd and 1 at the 2-minute warning. You get 1st and goal. You get second and goal. You get third and goal after the final timeout at 1:46, and Mixon gets stuffed. The clock goes under a minute. You get a fourth and goal, which I hate. I hate them going there. I do. They got bailed out by calls. I mean, like, they got flags all day, okay? It goes both ways. But they got bailed out, and I didn't like that because at the very least in that situation, I don't want to go into overtime with this team. I just really don't. And so I'd like to kick that ball at 45 seconds and take my chances. That's what I was going to say. At some point of up 3 with my defense and Mahomes with no timeouts with 40, 50 seconds, I have to take – that's good enough for me. Here's the deal. The fucking Bucker guy, he could kick a football from 60 yards away. So that factors in the conversation. Yep. But another thing that comes out of it is Burrow gets dinged. So I don't know what his deal is. I still disagree with it, like I said, though, because at some point, up 3 with 40 seconds, you're going to have to be able to get a stop. I don't want to go to – what if I don't get the ball in overtime? Exactly, dude. They win the toss, it's over, dude. Over. And because on top of it, all of it, I'm just thinking, you're the Bengals. It never works out. Yeah. I mean, hindsight's 2020. It worked out for them. The penalties were huge. Fenton, DPI, 3rd and 3. That led to 21-14. Fenton, 3rd and 4. That led to 28-17. And then you get Snead, horse collar, and DPI on the same possession. That was tough. Those two calls were brutal. I like the horse collar, though. Really? But he had him by the shoulder. It really wasn't a horse collar. He did at the very end. He ended up on the back of above the back of his nameplate. And by the letter of the law, as somebody who's betting the Bengals, I did not hate that call. Okay. All right. But the other ones, I'll give you that. But the Snead illegal. The DPI after that was brutal. Yeah, I'll give you that. But the horse collar, I could see it, especially in real time. That's a tough call. It's a tough call. It's chaotic on the sideline. And Kansas City still looks good. But if you're Cincinnati, you might feel like your 5-year outlook's just as good. Yeah. I mean, your 5-year outlook. I don't know if they could beat them again in the playoffs, so might see them again in the playoffs. That was my coming out here is Cincinnati coming out, getting the win. Awesome. Put your division champ hats on and T-shirts. Teddy Bruschi always used to call, you get fired up for the head, free T-shirt hat game. But I don't see Cincinnati going to Kansas City and winning in the playoffs. I don't care what the line is. Give me Kansas City. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But I will say this. The Bengals missed a lot of opportunities early. Eli Apple drops a pick. I think they forced a hold and get him in like 2nd and 20, and then they give up an explosive. Like when you have these opportunities, and Cincy's defense, one of the worst things they did today was their rush lanes at times were kind of fucked up. There was a 3rd and 4 where Mahomes is full sprint, 10 yards, nobody around him into the middle of the pocket. Everybody's behind him. I tweeted a picture of it. Like, if you give Mahomes a pocket that he cannot climb, sprint into, he's going to burn you. And so, like, if they play him again, Hubbard should have had a sack, but there was no balance up. There was a lot of stuff with pass rush that they can get kind of rectified the next time they play this team. And they spotted him 14 points and still won. So I know it's Arrowhead, it's different, but this is going to be a hell of a game. A hell of a game if we see this matchup again. Did you enjoy the video? I mean, if you didn't enjoy the video and you're here, like, I don't know what to tell you. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.